Good morning. Welcome back to Green Heart Glowing. I'm Kara and I'm here to do an energy reading for you for the week of the 16th of August to the 22nd of August. Starting with an angel card to open the energy. What a week last week for eclipse week. Oh my gosh. I'll talk more about it in just a second, but here, usually people like to see when I pull the card. Okay, what do we have here? Harmony. All right. Yeah, I think I see a hair coming out of my... Okay. Just know that gets distracting for people to watch. Yeah, I don't know about you guys, but last week was intense for me for eclipse week. Everything I said in my last video about the beginning of the week being really like Mercury's making all these aspects and you're going to feel like you're going to have new revelations of things come up, you're going to hear conversations that suddenly shift your perspective, all to build up to this release point with the eclipse on the South Node on Wednesday. And man, in my life anyway, everything I said happened exactly the way that I said it. And I was like, this is why I track astrology, because not that I'm trying to predict what's going to happen, because like I can't do that, I never know, but it's always interesting just to see the alignment and to kind of be plugged into something that where you kind of feel like you're in a flow. It's like, oh, that sucked, that hurt, you know, this crazy thing happened in the world, all this kind of stuff. But when you track the astrology that goes along with it, it's almost comforting to kind of see like, oh, this huge wave just happened, you know, with the planets. And so we're connecting to those waves, and it can bring a sense of, well, I guess, harmony. That's really funny. I wasn't trying to tie that in or anything, but like harmony with our experience on the planet Earth, with all the other planets in the sky, and just like how all of that, you know, we kind of get impacted by those, because everything is connected, right? We're connected to nature, we're connected to animals, we're all in this like web of connection of energy. And when you can begin to notice, where is it going to be more intense that I could possibly, you know, not worry like what's going to happen. It's not what it's for, but it's just to kind of be like, hey, heads up. That's why I'm doing these videos, by the way. Hey, heads up. Next week, it might be a little bit more intense on this particular day and these particular days. I even plan sometimes my like schedule stuff, if I can help it, around certain transits when I know that like I might have more of a difficult time getting myself started today. I might feel more energized today, like, you know, so stuff like that. But anyways, I'm not sure if anyone else experienced an intense eclipse week. I know a few people in my real life did as well. Feel free to let me know. With that said, for this coming up week, so the thing about it is we're in eclipse season. We have our next eclipse happening in Pisces on the 27th of this month. So eclipse season is just sort of always like its own like warm bath that you're just like in for this period of time. Like, I don't know if that's the right way to put it, but you're just kind of in this, you know, place where everything doesn't really feel real. Like it almost feels like we step outside of a timeline and we go through this really intense soul journey, and then we get placed back into the timeline after the last eclipse and move forward with this like whole new self almost that we developed and kind of like let die and were reborn into during eclipse time. So we're in that, like, that's not like, it didn't just like, oh, the eclipse happened and that's over now. The eclipse happened, something big released, But now we have to go through this whole like restructuring, integrating, processing, coming out of the other side and saying, well, what does it now look like? Like what's going to be this new sort of reality that I'm stepping into, and how ready am I to fully step out of what I was just in? And that's what makes a lot of difference too with transformation, is sometimes you're just not ready to fully let that whole experience go. So right now we're in that, but specifically for next week on Monday, I'll say that's going to be one of the days where you want to not be too in a rush to make decisions, or to feel like have hard conversations with people. There's a few aspects going on that day, but there's one that's particularly going to feel like maybe a bit emotionally confusing and discombobulating. There's a square to Neptune, is why I'm saying that. So your want to take action, Mars and squaring Neptune, are going to make things feel a bit emotionally foggy. So just pay attention on Monday and maybe hold off on anything that's feeling like extra, just where you need to take a little bit more time, take that time. Don't rush your feelings. Don't bully yourself out of your feelings. This is something that I think a lot of people don't even realize that they're doing, especially if you had a critical parent or critical parents or caretaker that didn't allow you to have the time you needed to feel the enormity of feeling. Like, some sensitive kids feel so much, but when you have parents who aren't the same way, your feelings can scare them into saying, hey, no, that's not what we do. We're tough. We move past things. You're stronger than that, and so then we internalize this voice that tells us, like, oh, the way I process is not correct. The way I process is too much. I'm too sensitive. So anytime something comes up where you do have to feel grief, sadness, anything like that, you try to rush yourself past it. Oh, I got this. I'll cry for a day and then I'm tough and I'm going to move on. But maybe there's some part of you, your little inner kid, that needs you to slow down and say, I'm going to just sit with you until this doesn't hurt anymore. There's not this rush towards healing that I think it's like, oh, I thought I already cried about that. I thought I already released that. Why is it here again? Well, then you're putting your judgment and your criticism of yourself and your own processing on top of already feeling sad and needing to release and sit with, that tender part of you that just needs some time. So yeah, don't anything that came up on the eclipse or anything like that, don't try to solve it or, make your emotions match what you think your emotions need to be. Like, I need to be more whatever. Just be in the experience of what the eclipses are teaching you right now, and don't rush any of that. Because at the end of the week, on Friday and Saturday, those might be an intense weekend, just in terms of like, so on Friday we're going to have Venus opposing Saturn. That could be an ouch. That can be like a reality check in a relationship, or something that has to do with just feeling like, oh, my heart just got hurt a bit. Or that situation that I thought was happening with that person gets, like sobering, like something that you feel like you needed to find out or you needed to see, that makes you have to sort of shift the structure of how that relationship is going to look. And then on Saturday, the sun is in its final degrees of Leo, because the sun is about to go into Virgo. We're already almost in Virgo season. It seems like Leo season just flew by. But before the sun leaves Leo on Saturday, it will be making aspects to the nodes of fate. So this is going to be like one final Sun in Leo, sort of like identity check. Just like one more pass through. What did the whole experience of Leo season bring up? What did the eclipse in Leo bring up? And having that become, part of the whole journey that we've been through for the last couple of months as well. Because it's not just like that's the thing with astrology. It's all connecting. It's all kind of like moving through cycles and things. So Friday and Saturday might be a little bit more of intense feeling days. Not that this all won't feel like, whoa, where am I? What's kind of going on? I'm a bit disoriented. If you're disoriented, we're in eclipse season. Like, that's just totally normal for eclipse season. You just gotta surrender, and you just have to let it teach you, let it guide you, because it's ultimately so, so good. It's ultimately so, it's just part of like, wow, okay, what am I learning next? Like, I guess the more that you kind of go through it, and you get less afraid of feeling the pain. You get less afraid of feeling like, if I feel this emotion, I'm going to die, I swear. Like, that's something that actually, unfortunately, losing my soul dog really, really taught me, was my capacity to be with emotion that I thought I was literally going to die from. It widened my capacity to handle strong emotions. Ultimately, while it was happening, oh man, that was the worst pain I've ever been through in my life. And I still, I'm still going through waves of that as well. But going through these types of experiences that do hurt and feel just like excruciating, once you allow it and you kind of get through to this, like, it's like I don't even recognize a lot of who I was before that experience happened. I feel so different now because my soul changed with the experience. So don't be afraid of the pain. It ultimately does want to expand you, expand your capacity. And then when your capacity gets expanded, you can become someone that can help hold the pain of the world, not to shelter the world from its pain, not to hold other people's emotions so that they don't have to feel them, but to widen your capacity to just sit with all of it and sit with the repressed energy that's being accumulated within this last, the last several years. I know that sounds like a lot, but a lot of people who are healers are here to become like skilled at knowing how to hold these deeper, painful places, so that once people start turning on to their own inner pain, you can only distract yourself for so long. We all have to come to an awakening at some point, and I think that is why so many people who are healers go through such painful experiences, because you have to know the capacity of how intense an experience is in order to be able to help hold it with somebody else. So there's the general week of the astrology. We will have our eclipse coming up next week that I'll talk more about in next week's video on the 27th. And then, wow, we're going to be wrapping up already in August. That's crazy. It feels like you can feel autumn. I love, that's my favorite season. You can just kind of feel it. And we really need the rain here in the Pacific Northwest, because we have a really bad wildfire season happening. So I am excited for fall. I am excited for some rain and cooler temps, but we're not there yet. Let's stay in August while we're in August. And we're gonna pull Nature's Whispers card before I leave you. Till the next video. card for the week. Renewal of peace. Yeah. The chaos from the eclipse. Just need to get in there and take a minute. Be with yourself, however you're feeling. Card number 13. Aw, I love how it's got all of his animal friends watching. Me and animals, man, humans don't make sense to me for the most part. I understand the psychology because I study it so much, but animals, it's natural to me. I just love the presence and the company of animals so much. I always feel like I'm learning something, or I'm just being so honored to be in the presence of any animal that crosses my path. They're just so amazing. Okay, so this is the message for your week next week coming up. Well, today into the week. It is important to maintain peace with all aspects of your life, mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual. Inner imbalances can often manifest in your daily life if you don't make time to take care of yourself. It doesn't matter whether or not your imbalance is a negative one. Being optimistic to the point of believing yourself to be invincible can also lead to challenges. Balance is best achieved through listening to your body. Take time for yourself. Allow your inner power to heal and return to being peace-filled. This will assist you and make you stronger. Okay, well, thank you so much for being here again this week, and to all the new people who have come from my last video, I really appreciate you all being here. Have a great week, and I will see you next week.